What's going on, everyone? We are back again today with another Set 5 list. This time, returning back to Anakin, which we actually haven't done a video on, but he got a lot better with Set 5, to be honest. A lot of amazing new tools, especially on turn 1, which really changed kind of the makeup of the deck. With that said, a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. Guys, I love absolutely hanging out with you all and just seeing every idea that you come up with. We've got a little bit of a Anakin Green enjoyer in the patron, so I am excited to see his comment here on the video. So big thank you to you all. And also I have a TCG player link in the description down below if you want to pick up any Set 5 cards. But first, Anakin. Guys, what do we get from the new set? And it really comes down to turn 1. And in general, force synergies, but turn 1 is where I'm really excited about, because we get Adi Gallia, Gunji, and Jedi Consular, all force units on turn 1, all with high toughness, which works with Anakin's action extremely well. And in some cases, like Jedi Consular, have oppressive abilities, which also allows us to run force throw more effectively than even before. So really amazing additions in these 3. This just really makes your turn 1 absolutely amazing. And then another hidden kind of bonus to them is that they work with General's Blade absolutely amazingly. And if you've been watching the videos lately, you all know how powerful Jedi Consular and General's Blade can be. Outside of that, what do we get with the new set? We get the new Obi-Wan, absolutely amazing force unit, and Sentinel coming down. We get some more force units, or force payoffs I should say, as well as force units, because we are running that Jedi Temple with all of our early force units. We get ETH Koth to ramp us a little bit. Ki-Adi-Mundi has been kind of a sleeper OP here, and that's mainly because they're really pushing how far we can extend into drawing cards, because it's not really a that powerful effect, but when you staple it onto a 4/4 body and you get a force body with that, it's actually really quite good. We got Mace Windu as another force payoff, dealing 4 on 6 resources with the force. Caloran Beck, which is the new heroism Darth Vader. Home 1 and Yoda in the late game. Yoda, again, another great force payoff. And we're going to see what we can do with Anakin Green today. The rest of the deck, kind of filler pieces that are just solid. Blue Leader to kind of cover the space arena a little bit for us. Cassian has a nice little smuggle option. Timely, same thing. Nice to ambush out Caloran Backs or potentially home 1s. We also have Resupply to ramp a little bit. Sundari Peacekeeper to give us a little bit of restore. And Sabine is another really amazing turn 1 play. Let's see what we can do with Anakin Green today. All right, starting us off with, well, a pretty fantastic start, honestly. I'm going to resource one of the Consulars and one of the Obi-Wans, but this is just like probably the best start we possibly could have had. Turn 1 play, turn 2 Sentinel up against Asajj with the potential of General's Blade just is absolutely fantastic. This matchup is also really good for us, mainly because we are going to be able to knock out their units very easily. Let's go ahead and pass. Blue Leader's going to go into the resource pile. Should we not be able to go General's Blade plus Jedi Consular on this turn, that's okay. I think my opponent would probably start with a Waylay, or open fire is totally reasonable as well. We're just going to go with Obi-Wan here, and yes, they can use the Asajj action to get in 4 damage into this Obi-Wan, but that's actually totally fine. Open fire is not something I necessarily expected. Oh, they're just going to claim initiative. Okay, claiming initiative is totally reasonable as well. I think I'm going to get rid of this resupply, and I'm going to trust in the General's Blade here. We'll see what they've got. Force choke, huh? All right, well, I wasn't necessarily expecting this direction, to be honest. I suppose I should have kept the resupply, but yeah, I was not really expecting my opponent to go this direction with the force choke and the open fire, but hey, it is working out quite well for them. Let's go ahead and resource. I suppose we will resource the Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I'm just going to go with Obi-Wan Kenobi and just prevent some damage here. I think we're still in a fine spot, even though they ended up going. If we had the initiative, by the way, the game would have been over, because we could have just killed Aura Singh immediately or play General's Blade to get out of the open fire range. They're going to go open fire. We just claim initiative. So another removal event here. They can knock it out with Asajj, attack us for 3, and a surprise strike. Wow, so big hit there as well. That was an amazing draw in the Mace Windu here. We're just going to go ahead and deploy Anakin. Hopefully they don't have like a no good to me dead. That would make us a little bit sad here. It looks like they got Darth Malik. That's fine. We're going to knock out Aura Singh here, and then we are going to drop the Mace Windu and knock out... discard a random card. I think I would rather have them get the Battle Droid tokens, because if I lose the Mace Windu, then I think I lose way more in this game than otherwise I could have done. Okay, Bright Hope, probably the I mean, we have just way too many cards in our hand right now. Let's go ahead and knock out one of these Battle Droids just because we have Overwhelm on Mace Windu, and then we can drop General's Blade here. Okay, they can discard a card at random at this point. That's totally fine here. Now we get to, I suppose, go with General's Blade and another Mace Windu. They're going to attack in. We get to absolutely destroy Malik here. They have Ruthless Raider, huh? I think we just claim initiative here and then just drop Yoda and then knock out Ruthless Raider. This game seems pretty over. Trigger, heal 5, kill the Ruthless Raider. They can knock out Anakin, but that's actually totally fine. Again, we now have Yoda on board, which means that we can drop Mace Windu and... Okay. Lots of units my opponent's got here, huh? What can we grab from the resource pile? It doesn't matter. We're just gonna grab Obi-Wan and do our thing, you know, like get a little feisty over here. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all what we do. We can deal 2 damage to our base actually, so that we can smack in. Let's go ahead and attack for 5, restore 1, and then they can attack in for a little bit of damage. They had a powerful start, but this is the problem with going this direction with Asajj, is as soon as we get something that can kind of recover us in the game, you have no threat on the board. And yeah, they did their thing. Like, they killed our turn 1 play unit, killed our turn 2 play unit, killed our turn 3 play unit, and our hand was kind of awkward, but we picked up the Mace Windu. That was the key recoverer in this game. If we didn't have Mace Windu, it would have been a lot more tough. There are a lot of other cards that we could have potentially drawn. For example, Force Throw would have been an amazing one. If we picked up things like Blue Leader would have been amazing as well. So just a lot of options we had to pick up, but Mace Windu was definitely the best of all of them. And well, we got there, guys. It was not like super close because of our Mace Windu, but I think if we didn't draw Mace Windu, it would have been really close, and I think our opponent would have had the edge in this game. On to game number 2, and honestly, I don't really like this matchup at all. I'm gonna go to mulligan this one. The first deck had all the red events that kind of, oh my gosh, even worse hand here. Okay, I suppose I will just resource the Bright Hope, and then we'll see what my opponent decides to do. I hope they pass. I really hope they pass. Strike ship. All right, we're just claiming initiative. We got nothing. Now we have Adi Gallia, but that's not even a great play, really. I mean, we're going to play it. They can play an Underworld card, and we're pretty sad. They're going to just, you know, Tarkin Town it away, attack for 3, and they're very, very space forward in this game. So we'll see what they're going to be able to do here. Ki-Adi-Mundi into play here. And they're going to attack for a lot of damage. And us having no turn 1 play is just absolutely brutal. Let's see what they grab with the Jabba the Hutt. They got a Maklunki, and they're going to bounce. Yeah, what a disgusting start from them. Like, absolutely gross, man. Absolutely gross. The first game was, you know, all removal. This one, they just had Tarkin Town, and we just had a horrible... Oh my gosh, and the boss. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. There's not much that we can do in this game, to be honest. Our opponent just had an absolutely incredible start. But we're going to try. We're going to still try. No Good to Me dead as well. Oh my gosh, what a disgusting hand from our opponent. This was like about as hard as demolishing could get. Horrible turn one play because we didn't have turn one play, and then they just tempoed us out. But as I said, this matchup was pretty bad regardless because of Target Town disrupting our early game plan. If we got blue leader a little bit earlier, it would have been actually probably fine. Like, let's say that game was different in that our turn two play, instead of going Adi Gallia, was a blue leader. We could have killed a strike ship. They would have done their play and all that stuff. It still would have been like still the same sequence of plays, but we would have taken a lot less damage. We would have one less strike ship. We probably had it somewhat of a chance there, but oh my gosh, that was not even close. That was not even close. All right, into the next game, we get ourselves Sabine Colossus, which is not something I would have necessarily expected. The hand's pretty expensive here. I think I'm gonna mulligan this one for potentially a better option. This one is actually a lot more intriguing to me. I do like the Adi Gallia into General's Blade, Jedi Consular, Grief Karga. Okay. I honestly don't know what to expect out of Sabine Colossus, so I suppose that is a reasonable play to make. Yeah, I mean, we got a nice setup here. I'm trying to think what my opponent could have to deal with this on turn two, but I don't really see them having anything in Sabine Colossus if they're playing upgrades. I mean, I will just go ahead and knock out the Grief Karga. It doesn't really matter if I attack base here because I'm going to start really just playing some absolute powerhouse of some units. Jedi Consular. Okay, Axe. Okay, they're doing Axe things, I suppose. That could be kind of interesting. We'll pass. Another General's Blade, huh? I mean, double General's Blade is going to get us to some really expensive things really, really quickly. Although Jedi Consular could play something massive this turn, so that's pretty nice. I think here, though, I'll just attack Axe. Because I can deploy Mace Windu or Home 1 this turn. I mean, I don't even know what I want to do. I mean, I guess I'll just play Mace Windu. And then I'll generate the Force again. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do anything differently. I attacked Axe because I'm just a little bit worried about, dumping a bunch of upgrades on him and just going to town. That could be very, very scary. I will go ahead and attack into Sabine for 3 here. And now, I mean, I'm not sure what my opponent could play in terms of upgrades to get this out of range of Mace Windu. Mace Windu has 8 power with Anakin next turn, so I'm just not really sure what they could have. I don't really know what the game plan is here. I mean, they got armed to the teeth. Sure. Yeah. Attack for 5. Electro Staff. Sure. Yep. That's it's not bad, but it's also not great. I actually really do like the Obi-Wan here, so I am just going to... Do I want to overwhelm this? I mean, I technically kill Sabine with just the Mace Windu attack. I think I'll just do that. Knock out Sabine. I'm happy I went with the direction I did, which was attacking units versus attacking base, especially with that type of turn, right? It's a lot of power. Here, I will just go ahead and attack into Axe, get rid of the shield token. Again, just remove their big old units off the battlefield. Yeah, that's fine. I can just go ahead and attack into the Axe again. And then we'll deploy Anakin. Oh, we don't even have Anakin deploy. That's actually crazy. I thought we had Anakin deploy this turn for some reason. All right. Well, that was a little bit of a mistake there. We're so ahead of the curve. I forgot that we actually didn't have Anakin deploy this turn. Yeah. My opponent, it's kind of had a pretty nice situation to deal with some of the attacks here. Mandalorian armor is actually really, really good for them. Yeah, we'll see what they've got, though. Okay, we'll just knock out Axe then. We can play Home 1 this turn. I mean, I'm going to deploy Anakin here and see what they've got. Okay, we'll kill Mandalorian Warrior. Oh, I should have played Home 1 first to get the Restore 1. Home 1, bring back Adi Gallia is fine. Sedari Peacekeeper be the resource here. Kiadi Mundi looks pretty good. Home 1, obviously, really excellent. Don't think my opponent can win at this stage. The Mandalorian Sabine deck, huh? Kind of fun. Kind of fun. I think that's pretty cool. We'll just knock out the Concord Dawn, Restore 2. What do they just do? Open fire? Yeah, sure. That's fine. Get the Restore 1 in. Play a Kiadi Mundi, draw a couple cards, another Kiadi Mundi, another Adi Galia. I mean, doesn't really matter what we do. I'm going to attack base for this because now we can force throw ourselves, kill the Ketsu, play another Kiadi to draw a couple cards again. Pass, and I mean, now the game is completely over. I'm just playing duplicate cards now just to draw cards. I paid 4 to draw a card. Kind of crazy, actually. Let's attack the Village Protectors. I could force throw, I know, but it doesn't really feel like I even need to bother with anything right now. Let's just attack in for 7. Let's go blue leader, pay 2, attack, kill the Village Protectors, and then end the game. Great. Interesting little Mandalorian upgrade deck. I think that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, just a lot of value. General's Blade, so many resource cost reductions, and just kind of attacking their shield tokens just took them out. Into the next game, and we got ourselves a pretty good hand. Avar with the Force base, definitely looking for like Infused Brawler on turn 1 is like their ideal play, and it looks like they may have it here with the Jedi Consular. Okay, well, this is great too, because what we can do here is actually use Anakin's ability to knock out Jedi Consular, preventing them from using it this turn, which is one of the reasons why Anakin is super strong with some of these new turn 1 plays. So this could have been really scary for us, but we are just going to, do our thing. Just knock out that Jedi Consular. Free real estate there. They got blue leader. We're going to go General's Blade now, and then we'll pass. Another Kiadi Mundi. Just going to keep both of them. I'd rather just have Kiadi Mundis because I'm going to be able to draw 2 cards, even if they kill off Gunji this turn. So not really worried about that. And I think I'm just winning the game super hard right now. Jedi Consular, even better. It gives us something to play after Gunji attacks. We'll knock out Gunji immediately. No reason to take too much damage here because we just have such an advantage over the game right now that I don't really see a reason to do really anything else. Infused Brawler comes down. We'll just trade off. Yep, just easy trade because we have the Kiadi Mundi. And then we can attack in with Gunji and then play Yoda with what we got, which is awesome. So just get this down on the battlefield. I know it's not exactly all that impressive because we can't use the Force, but we have the Kiadi Mundi in hand to utilize the Force next turn, so we can start getting triggers off that, right? And we can also use Jedi Consular, or have Jedi Consular use the Force, which is going to start getting triggers off that. So at this point in the game, it is completely over for my opponent, to be honest. They had something decent there, which was the Mace Windu, but I mean we have so many options here. What do I want to do? I mean, I can home 1. No, I can go Jedi Consular. I can go, yeah. Let's go Jedi Consular this turn, actually. Let's go ahead and deploy Anakin. I mean, we can just kill Mace Windu, play Kiadi, use the Force, draw 2 cards, knock that out. And look, I even drew Force Throw, which means I could have just Force Thrown myself. I mean, what is this? What is this? General's Blade and is just taking over the game. This tends to happen, though, in these like sort of mid-range Force mirrors. If you're the one with General's Blade, you are just winning the game is what's happening. It is insane. Let's just go ahead and attack him with Gunji. And then, I mean, we just win the game. It doesn't really matter what we do here. Force Throw. Nice. We're going to discard our own Force Throw just for the pettiness of it. Attack in for 5. Yoda's lightsaber, they're going to heal up. Wow, they're really attempting to do something here. And we'll just go General's Blade and finish off the game. They're really trying to survive, but not really close at all. General's Blade and Anakin action just took over that game. If they had Jedi Consular available on turn 1, turn 2, they may have been able to do something incredible. So really incredible there. Anakin just dominating. Into the next game, we got ourselves a pretty nice other matchup up against the Avar again. They've got Infused Brawler here. We're going to resource this resupply. We're going to go with General's Blade. I mean, General's Blade's going to be pretty good here. I don't think they're going to have a lot of answers to this. General's Blade's going to allow us to play Sabine Wren as a follow-up, which is going to be pretty fantastic. Ooh, they have their own General's Blade, huh? Let's just go ahead and attack into the base, force them to attack our Jedi Consular here. Play Sabine Wren after that. So that General's Blade plus the Infused Brawler are really doing some work here. We will go ahead and claim initiative, resource of this. And I think here I'm just going to knock out the Infused Brawler. So we essentially traded evenly there. We're going to go Kiadi Mundi, draw a couple cards. We will go ahead and pass. Resupply looks pretty good alongside Jedi Consular here, so I think I'm going to go that direction. Resupply is going to allow us to get Anakin down, and then we can go Jedi Consular after that. So resupply, and then Jedi Consular. Ooh, they have Poe Dameron, huh? That makes me less want to actually deploy Anakin. Really, really interesting back and forth here. They had the initiative this game, which did make things a little bit easier for them. Yeah, let's just go blue leader and knock out Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron, a little bit scary. That's just a high value unit here. We'll deploy Anakin and see what they've got to follow up. Let's attack because I have Yoda deploy next turn. Force throw, huh? Okay, knock out Obi-Wan, claim initiative. Ooh, Mace Windu is actually pretty good too. I think here I will just use the Force, knock out Obi-Wan. And then next turn we can play Mace Windu, use the Force again. So they have their own Yoda. That makes things a little bit more tricky for sure. Because now they can use the Force and they deploy Avar and then they can attack us. So they are absolutely outpacing us. That General's Blade on that Infused Brawler definitely made it really, really difficult for us. So really interesting stuff here going on. Now we're going to attack Yoda. No, we're going to attack base. I think the only way we get out of this is if my opponent doesn't have a way to trigger the Force this turn. If they don't, we can play Mace Windu, trigger, deal a bunch of damage to Yoda, and then, in theory, Force throw them to get rid of whatever they have. But it's not going to really work out for us, huh? Because they can just attack with Avar, which wins the game too. So don't know if that really does anything because they can just claim initiative and then that's going to be GG. So obviously the Poe Dameron actually made things really complicated because we didn't have enough value in the early game. The double General's Blade, that card has been insane, and it's even better on like an Infused Brawler, which has a bunch of power, and it's a Force unit, so that does some good work. But it doesn't get the 2 cost reduction, but it does just give them +3/+3 to knock out our Jedi Consular, which is something that we were relying on. I could have attacked into it with the Jedi Consular, I suppose, knock it out, and then be left with a Sabine Wren if they attack with it. But then they could have just attacked the Sabine Wren if they passed, as an example. So I don't know if that would have been the play. But yeah, the key turn there was the Poe Dameron, actually, because Poe Dameron actually knocks out Anakin as soon as they deploys, and that makes it really, really weak. And then they also matched our Yoda with their own Yoda, and then they had the better leader deploy in an 8-10, which is kind of just what won them the game. So good stuff. Really fun game, actually. Into the next one, got ourselves another Avar match. They have the initiative. We'll see what they're going to do here. No Infused Brawler. Lots of Avar Reds running around. Eth Koth, probably home one, going to be the resources. We got Gunji turn 1 into Adi plus Force through on turn 2, which I do like, and then turn 3 Kiadi to refill our hand. So I do like where we're sitting right now. See what my opponent's got on turn 1. Let's go Gunji. If they have a Yaddle, it just dies, which is nice. So Owen Lars, huh? Interesting. We actually just drew a Jedi Consular, which I do like, actually. I think I'll just knock out the Owen. I don't know how much I care about Owen, to be honest, though. I would just play out the Jedi Consular, though. And then I assume my opponent's going to just play out a unit. I wouldn't think they would try to stall an act. I mean, I think the right play is just to use Avar's action. Oh, they're going to Calm Before the Storm, huh? That's interesting. I'll just Force throw them. Just get rid of one of their cards in hand and just just hit their shield token. That's all I was trying to do, is get rid of their shield token anyways. And now I can use this attack, deal 4 to Owen, and that way we're actually doing pretty good for ourselves. And now actually we have the Mace Windu deploy with the Jedi Consular, but it's not super exciting, mainly because if we do that, then Mace Windu is not going to be able to use his when played effect. I'd rather get down Ki-Adi-Mundi this turn is what I'm really looking to do. Draw a couple cards and do that whole thing. Calm Before the Storm is interesting. It's not a very strong play on something like Owen Lars, seeing as that it's a 0/3, but it can definitely do some work. I do think that's actually an interesting card to be playing. 2 experience tokens and a shield token is strong. It's just, are you able to stabilize the board at some point? Because if you're not, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. They may be tempted to try to take out this Jedi Consular, but I'm actually not really worried about the Jedi Consular. Right now, our hand doesn't really work with it, so I am totally fine with kind of whatever they want to do here. We're just going to play a Ki-Adi, draw a couple cards. Now I can actually attack with Gunji and play a Sabine Wren with the Force from Jedi Consular, which I am leaning towards, or Adi Gallia, which actually I probably would do over the Sabine since it's another Force unit. The second Adi is not exactly super exciting, but it's okay. It is okay. So Eth Koth coming down. I think I'm going to do exactly what I said, which is kill Owen and then just play something with the Jedi Consular. Eth Koth is going to be able to take out a unit, which is nice. They did grab Jedi Guardian. That's the 5 resource 4/8, if I'm not mistaken. We get to use this, play out an Adi Gallia, pass. Ooh, another Adi Gallia. But a General's Blade is actually pretty nice here, because General's Blade actually allows us to play Mace Windu, which is really, really nice. Well, not quite, because we go General's Blade and then Jedi Consular, and then we can play Mace Windu, but that doesn't get the triggered effect, so maybe that's not the best play. You could go General's Blade, assuming Adi's going to die, which I can use her to attack into Eth Koth here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and attack him with Gunji here. Just generate the Force to see what's going to happen here. I was thinking I go General's Blade on Ki-Adi, attack Eth Koth with Adi Gallia, and then play another Adi Gallia and Sabine. So General's Blade on Ki-Adi. Jedi Guardian. It's pretty powerful here. Let's go ahead and attack in for 7. We will play Sabine Wren, and I'll use Adi Gallia actually just knock out Eth Koth. I know they're going to have an extra resource at 7 next turn. I don't think it's going to really change the nature of the game, but I could be wrong. I could have also attacked the Jedi Guardian just to hit it for 4. I think in this game, I actually want damage on my base for Anakin to get a little stronger, so I'm totally fine with just utilizing the action over and over again. 7/7 Ki-Adi-Mundi is going to be tough to deal with, for sure. There's a Chirrut. I mean, they don't have the Force right now, so I can just use Sabine here and knock out Chirrut, which is not bad at all. They're going to utilize the Force here. That's fine. I'll attack in with Gunji here. Yoda's lightsaber, huh? Okay, we will attack in with Ki-Adi. We're going to be able to deploy this Mace Windu to knock out the Jedi Guardian. I assume they're going to attack the Ki-Adi-Mundi, but I could be wrong. What are you going to do, opponent? What are you going to do? Attack base. Interesting. Maybe they're just trying to race here. I think if they're going to do that, I'm just going to deploy Anakin and attack their base for 7, and now we have 2 lethal threats on the board. I'm a little bit surprised they attacked base just because of the way the numbers work. They gave 2 extra power on Anakin, which put it to the point where now we have the first attack of the turn is lethal with a 7-powered Ki-Adi and a 7-powered Anakin. So I'm a little bit surprised they decided to go for the base here. And it looks like they're just, conceding. So GG. Well played to my opponent. This one, not as close as the Avar red decks. Even even though they got a lot more damage on the base, the Avar red decks were a little bit more scary in my opinion. All right, into our last game here, and don't have like an insane hand, but I do think it's totally reasonable to keep. I don't really know what my opponent's doing, but I'm gonna resource this General's Blade and probably the blue leader. Well, actually, probably the Kiadi Mundi in this matchup, because I'm not going to have a force unit on turn 1 or turn 2 here. And I was thinking, yeah, maybe the blue leader is actually pretty strong in this. Wow. Well, good thing I kept the blue leader, huh? Jeez. Blue leader coming in is going to do some decent work here. I think I'm going to attack with Sabine first, and they might attack with their Forged Starfighter so that they can't use the Watt action. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do for them to do. So now they can't even use the Watt action to, you know, pump up their Forged Starfighter and get in another 2 points of damage. So I am happy that that played out exactly how I wanted it. Blue leader, they got Roger, huh? Okay. Confederate Courier. Okay. Not a great hand by any means. I think I want the 2 force units here. We'll go ahead and kill off Forged Starfighter. It looks like they're a full space deck, so I'm a little bit worried about what the potential of this game could be, because we could just get dominated by just a complete space deck in some matchups, especially in this one where we're kind of stalling out a little bit. I'd love to be able to play Mace Windu next turn, but we're not going to be able to. Droidica Security. Okay, well now, what a strange situation. Well, now we'll just knock out the Droidica Security with Anakin, and then I mean I don't even know what's going on anymore, guys. I don't even know what's going on with Watt Blue, but it is something. It is something. Double Forged Starfighter into Roger Confederate Courier. I mean, you know, sometimes some things happen, and I don't even know what the intentions were, but it can be pretty fun sometimes. Let's just go ahead and knock out the battle droid, I suppose. I'd rather them just not have any units. They're gonna claim initiative. All right, well, we'll deploy Anakin, get in for some damage here, start putting a clock on our opponent. I guess Adi Gallia is just weaker than Resupply at this stage. Because I don't think I'll be playing a combination of Adi Gallia plus a bunch of small units. Especially since Adi Gallia is probably the least likely one for them to kill, because they're just going to be hitting base. So, I don't know. Anakin's going to get stronger. We have Mace Windu deploy this turn. We're looking pretty good. Let's go and attack with Adi Gallia. See what they have for 6 resources. I mean, they could get Darth Vader down next turn, potentially. So, I mean, there is some things they can do, I suppose. Yeah. Ambush away. Cool. We're just gonna Mace Windu that. This feels really one-sided. This feels extremely one-sided, to be honest. GG, I suppose. Yoda, ooh, fantastic draw. Actually, I'm gonna keep the timely. I mean, Yoda deals 8 here. Oh, guys, Wat Tambor. I apologize for all you Wat Tambor enjoyers over there, but scramble the fighters, guys. Scramble them. Oh my gosh, they can't even attack in with the TIE fighters. I mean, this does absolutely nothing. It's good against Yoda, I suppose. That's funny. Oh, I just removed lethal because Anakin's 1 power less. I'm literally trolling. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't help it. I wanted to kill their Watt immediately. For the gusto, you know? I wanted to let them know that I had it. I wanted to let them know. All right, I'm gonna say GG. Oh, they said GG. Great. I think they were just thinking about what they could have done, I guess. Yoda is OP. Yeah, Yoda's OP. I think that was Yoda. I don't think it was. Oh, I have lethal. What? I did the math wrong. Guys, what am I doing? I was so distracted by the Wat Tambor. You know what I think was OP was the Blue Leader. Actually, this game, Blue Leader was incredible. And then I'm surprised they exploited to go the Droideka security because it just died one shot to our Sabine. So they sacrificed like a 2-1 and their space fort. I mean, maybe they had no other play, so that was like the only thing they could have done, but that was just so good for us. I mean, yeah. I don't know, guys. That was something. And that's Anakin, guys. Well, finishing off strong, I suppose. All right, guys, what did we learn with Anakin? Well, it was a pretty powerful quintessential mid-range deck. I think Anakin does some good work. I think the new 2-drops that you get absolutely work perfectly. We saw a couple games there with Jedi Consular or General's Blade that absolutely took over, but also just kind of the curve out, you know, the Ki-Adi-Mundis, the Mace Windus, and eventually Kelleran. Did we see a Kelleran back? I don't think we saw a Kelleran back, but home ones, Yoda's Kelleran back. Obviously, amazing command heroism units in the late game if you're able to set them up. Those are kind of just staples in terms of force viability. Was Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Yoda if you're going to go the force route. So absolutely great. I do think the Anakin action absolutely insane in some matchups, and in other matchups it is kind of, well, maybe mediocre. This deck is very similar to the Han 2 force variant. Like if I was playing Han 2, I would play a lot of the same cards. Especially in the late game, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Mace Windu, Kelleran back, home 1, Yoda, all would go into Han 2. Same with Blue Leader, probably same with Obi-Wan. Like a lot of these cards are the same cards that you're playing in Han 2. And I do think Han 2 is just a little bit better than Anakin in terms of what you're trying to do in general. So it depends on what you want to go with, I suppose, the strategy that you want to go with. Anakin's a little bit more of a powerhouse leader, and you get a little bit more value in terms of your action. But with Han, you get to deploy all these guys a turn sooner. And you can go with crazy curves like turn 1 Obi-Wan into turn 2 Ki-Adi after attacking to draw 2. And into turn 3, you get to turn 3, you get to play Blue Leader, ambush out, kill a unit. Turn 4, Mace Windu, like things like that, which are just incredible. So yeah, fun, great deck. Very similar to a lot of other options that you have out there. Anakin putting on a little show. I do think it's a lot better in set 5, but I also think Han 2 is a lot better in set 5. So who knows? All these decks are very similar. You even can go like Obi-Wan, red Obi-Wan aggression, and have a very similar strategy there too. So lots of decks that kind of do very similar things because there's only a few force cards. If you're going to go with a force deck, you have the similar makeup. So that's something to consider. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all for the next one.